With all due respect, I would like to direct my open to the President of the United States. Mr. President, I understand the pressure that you are under from every side. But the wall at our southern border is a promise that you made, ran on, got elected on, and must keep. But more than that, it is your legacy, and you cannot allow them to force you to compromise. So here we are, days before the Christmas holiday, and you are facing the most important issues that Americans elected you to confront: your promise to build the wall. Now, there's never been a president more dedicated to fulfilling a campaign promise than you. Unlike just about every other president in recent memory, you say what you mean and you mean what you say. That is why your base is so loyal to you and continues to grow. You have done what no other president has had the fortitude to do. The wall is no different, and you must fulfill this fundamental promise to the American people. You cannot buckle. Now, there's no question that on January 3rd, your presidency will face even more obstruction and resistance by the Democrats than you have seen in the last 2 years. They will stop at nothing. They are callously salivating at the prospect of your collapse. The only way to go into this is to let Pelosi and Schumer know that now they are going to have a fight every step of the way. They will have to deal with the toxic environment they created. No one has your strength, Mr. President, your perseverance, or your determination. You instinctively understand what needs to be done and how to do it. And you need to build this wall. Your meeting in the Oval Office with Pelosi and Schumer was a turning point in your presidency. The arrogance, disrespect, and condescension by these two members of Congress was shocking. Schumer unable to look you in the eye, and Pelosi instructing you the wall was a non-starter and that you did not have the votes.
Will not win. The fact is, you do not have the votes in the House.
Nancy, I do. And we need border security. Nancy.
We'll find out.
Well, Mr. President, she found out you had the votes. She is a liar and an obstructionist. And I might add, the whole lot of them are hypocrites.
Illegal immigration is wrong, plain and simple.
I voted numerous times when I was a senator to spend money to build a barrier to try to prevent illegal immigrants from coming in.
We simply cannot allow people to pour into the United States undetected, undocumented, unchecked.
These hypocrites wanted a wall until Donald Trump wanted a wall, until Trump promised a wall. They simply will do whatever they can to stop you from succeeding. Their hatred of you, Mr. President, is so intense and so vindictive that they would rather destroy you in America than destroy the drug cartels, gang members, and the human traffickers coming over our border. Schumer, Pelosi, and their gang of haters ignore the fact that 90% of the heroin coming into our country, killing our loved ones, comes from Mexico. And Nancy and Chuck, you don't want to put a wall up to stop that? We have spent tens of billions of dollars to fight heroin, but you don't want to spend $5 billion to put up a wall to stop heroin for good? Nancy and Chuck, you both know this year ICE agents seized enough fentanyl to kill every person in the United States. But you don't want a wall to stop it. Don't you want to stop the human traffickers, the child smuggling, and the coyotes raping young women claiming that they're family? Isn't this what every law-abiding American wants? What is with this open border nonsense? And you call us racist, heartless, and cruel? I'll tell you what's heartless It's the number of Americans that are killed by drugs pouring over our porous, namby-pamby fence border. It's the number of illegals in Democrats' sanctuary cities who kill innocent Americans. You want to throw down the welcome mat to illegals and with open arms shower them with health care and education and housing. Yes, you will have a fight from every side. But what is clear to the American people is that these Democrats have no respect for the rule of law and want to attack it. Their sanctuary cities endanger the safety of our citizens. It's just insanity. The only time the rule of law matters to these left-wing haters is when it's the campaign finance law. But the protection of our country and its citizens, who gives a damn? So we shut down the government. Okay, it's been shut down 20 times. Let's be clear. All essential personnel continue to work. The shutdown does not affect Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, the military, or other essential branches. And after the shutdown, all the other non-essential employees are paid. So stop with the rhetoric. 75% of our government is open. And the wall is the will of the American people. So now there's talk of compromise. For those of you who want a lesser amount than $5 billion, that number is simply inadequate. How many caravans need to come through before we realize that we need a wall? And the money from last year's budget can only be used to fix a fence. And for those of you who think that's enough, consider this. An 8-month pregnant woman was able to scale the fence to get to the American side to deliver her baby. Do you really think that that is the kind of wall we need? Mr. President, the American people are tired of our government standing with illegals over American citizens. They are tired of the destruction of the rule of law in our country and everything our founding fathers fought for. And I don't care who owns the shutdown, and neither do they. We voted for you, and you have not failed us. So while the Senate goes home for Christmas, you remain in Washington. I am pleading with you on behalf of the American people who believe with every fiber of their being that if anyone can get it done, you are the one who can and will. This is your moment in history. Just do it. Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Lindsey Graham. All right, Senator, should Mitch McConnell have sent them home?
Well, you know, I don't think we're going to do anything between now and Christmas.
Why not?
Let me just say, well, it takes two to tango. Here's what Schumer said. I'm going to quote you, Judge. Schumer demands Trump abandon the wall. So, Senator Schumer, we're not going to abandon the wall. We're going to build the wall. And to all those Americans who want us to abandon the wall and open up the border, that's what this fight's about. We don't agree with you. So Mark and Jim and Matt deserve a lot of credit for getting the president in a good spot. I had lunch with the president today, and I can promise you we need more money for the wall along the border. Schumer wants to abandon the wall. We want to build it. That's what this fight's all about. And it really is a silly, petty fight on behalf of Democrats.
Okay.
They all voted for $25 billion for the wall, border security in February.
Okay, but they won't allow for the actual building of a concrete wall. All right, I don't know if you heard my open, but there's an 8-month pregnant woman who scaled that ridiculous fence so that she could get over here. Listen, are you going to have to compromise in the Senate? And how, in order to get the wall, because I can't believe that in the end we will not get this wall. But maybe I'm just an optimist.
Well, let me tell you, we need the wall. And after the caravan, okay, the president asked for $1.6 billion for wall funding early in the year. Along comes the caravan. 5,000 people show up at our border near Tijuana, Mexico. And you made a very good point. What kind of wall is it that a 9-month pregnant woman can climb over, have the baby on our side within an hour? I am so glad she's healthy. Apparently the baby's okay. What else did we learn about our wall? Somebody put an 8-month-old baby under the wall. So, Senator Schumer, what does it take for you to realize that we need more money for a broken border? And this is about them hating Trump so much, wanting him to lose, they can't understand that America needs to win, and we're not going to give in.
Okay.
I'm a pretty reasonable guy, but we're not going to give in on this.
And you're a pretty reasonable guy, Senator, who doesn't agree with the president. Yeah, I'll say it. You don't agree with the president on everything, and Syria is one of those issues. But I'm honestly, right now, I'm into this wall right now. How are you going to get 9 Democrats to vote for the wall? What are you going to do?
We're going to go on TV and say to the American people that we need more money for wall funding because the threats against the country are greater, not smaller. And the president asked for 1.6. Democrats agreed to 1.6. The difference between 1.6 and $5 billion is very small in a $3 trillion budget. The need is there. Every Democrat in February voted for $25 billion for wall funding. We're going to make the case that this is unreasonable.
You know what?
And it is dangerous.
Okay, I just thought of something. You know, in the omnibus bill with the $700 billion for the military and all the other stuff, $500 for Planned Parenthood, you know, it was a compromise, right?
The whole
They
deal.
had $1.6 billion, I believe, in that omnibus bill for the wall, but they specifically said Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan, you can't use any of it for the wall. What makes you think Mitch McConnell's in with you guys on this?
Well, I think Mitch is not the problem. I think he's the solution. I think Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and the hard left are the problem. Chuck Schumer said today, I demand that the president abandon the wall.
You know what?
If you want to know what this is about,
why does
they want to
Chuck
abandon the wall. We want to build it.
Why does Chuck Schumer hate the president so much?
Well, you know, I'm not saying he hates the president as a person. I'm saying this, that he hates the president's agenda, that he's kowtowing to the radical left, that most Americans understand compromise is good. The Democrats have told the president, you won't get 1 penny for the wall.
Right.
The people voted for the president to build the wall. They're on the wrong side of this issue. The 3 people coming behind me, these congressmen, they understand what 2016 was all about. We did lose the House in 2018, but I promise you this, the issue of securing our border is alive and well. And when Chuck Schumer tells the president he demands that he abandon this wall, President Trump should listen to your opening statement. He will. I've never seen the president more determined to get something done than to build this wall.
Good. Senator Lindsey Graham, always good to have you on the show. Come back and see us sometime.
I'll be back.